Hi, my name is Tatiana Zamir. I'm 29 years old and I am from Los Angeles, California, which is also where I live. I am a massage therapist and I'm also a dance instructor. Also a performing artist. I tell stories and do a little bit of singing and stuff like that. So a little bit of everything. I've been a dance instructor for about 9 years now. I started teaching kids. I worked for this woman named Raina, and her company was called Raina's Arts Club. And I worked with her for a few years, and then just kind of branched off, did some independent contracting with different schools and youth programs and after school programs. So that's where it started. Right now, I teach a class called Afro-Hip. I created it. It's mainly a combination of West African and hip hop movement, but there's a sprinkling of some other dance styles in there, salsa and dance hall, and yeah. So we get down to all those different kinds of rhythms and movement, and I use a lot of old school music, but also some new stuff, and it's a variety of sounds from Afrobeat to hip hop and to like just different drum rhythms, and that's what I'm currently teaching. Yes, I have a family. I live with my husband, and I have a fairly intimate family as far as the family that I'm connected with and in touch with. I was raised by my mother and my grandmother, and now, of course, I have some extended family, and from being married. Um, and even though I don't even have kids or anything yet, it is already really hard to just balance like our work life with our personal life. My husband works a lot of hours, so there's already like some limited time that we even have to spend with each other. But it also just depends on, like, life goes in through phases. So there's some times where I'm a lot busier than I am, and then it's harder. For example, I just produced a dance theater show, and that just took up every moment of my time for a few months. My husband pretty much didn't have a wife, so he's like, I'll see you in a couple months when the show's over, And yeah, it's not always easy, but sometimes there are certain sacrifices that have to be made to, nurture things that you love and that you want to do. So you just have to be really conscious about like keeping that balance. We'd have to be like, okay, this night, this time, we are gonna have a conversation, or we're gonna go on a date, or whatever it is. You kind of just have to actively plan it so that you don't lose sight of one thing or another, that things that are also important to you. I have always, been taking classes, like I said, most of my life, and then I started teaching right after I got out of high school, and I was just ready for something new. I had been teaching kids for a long time. I've been teaching a kind of just more traditional style class, which includes usually like a warm up, and then you do some movement across the floor, and then you teach some basic choreography that you break down little by little. And as I started taking different adult workout classes, I was just inspired by this easy follow along movement that was more accessible for the general population. I just feel like so many people love to dance, but sometimes people feel like, well, if it's not their profession or something that they are always doing, that they can't do it. Like I've heard so many times from friends, like, oh, I'm not a dancer, I couldn't do that. Yeah, maybe there's some things people can't do. Of course, there's always things we can't do, but I wanted to create a space where people weren't limited to dance and have a comfortable environment to express themselves through movement. So I wanted to create something that supported that. So I created Afro-Hip, so that people could just have a place to come and move and exercise and have fun while they're doing it. And it's a combination of West African and hip hop movement with a sprinkling of other dance forms in the mix, like salsa and dance hall and house, things like that. So yeah, I was just inspired to create this supportive environment where people could have fun while they're working out. So, and then when I was at UCLA, I guess some of my main teachers were Maria Gillespie, who taught modern, and then Rennie Harris, who's really well known in the hip hop world. And yeah, I've just had some awesome teachers to help me get to where I'm at. And a couple of my teachers at UCLA who were actually students at the time getting their PhD, Peter Carpenter and Liam Clancy, they taught dance theater classes. So they really introduced me to a technique that helped me to understand myself as an artist, because they brought together like the word and movement. So I started to, as a writer, I started to like learn how to put my storytelling and my poetry together with my movement, and that has been a big part of like my signature as an artist and the kind of work that I do. So yeah, I've had a lot of great teachers that I'm thankful for. As far as teaching, I think I'm inspired by all my teachers. I think I just, I take things that stick with me, and it's gonna show through what I teach. Like, so things I learned from Rennie or Babacar, whoever. I mean, I'm taking this information and I'm using it in my class and in my work.